Good evening. I will call to order the regular City Council meeting for City of Sharonville, January 27th, 2026. If you could please stand for a prayer and moment of silence and Pledge of Allegiance, please. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Buhey, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Cook?
Here.
Mrs. Sharpshare? Here. Mrs. Cittadino?
Here.
Mr. Lovett?
Here.
Mr. Cox?
Here.
Mrs. Knight?
Here.
And Mr. Schmidt?
Thank you. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes of our last meeting? I did have one minor correction, which was uploaded in the folder in terms of who was present for the meeting. No other comments. Those minutes will stand as approved and written and distributed. Reports and communications, Mayor Hardman.
Thank you. I want to just start by giving a thanks to our fire department and our police department over the last couple of days. They've done an excellent job of responding to all the many different things that have happened as that comes along with the amount of snowfall that we got. But I also want to give a big thanks to our public works team that did a fantastic job in keeping up with all the snow that we received. It's a tough one to do, and they always do a fantastic job at it. So I see Steve Bosom here, and I understand that he wanted to kind of address council briefly this evening. And so pass along that thanks to your team, and the floor is yours, sir, for a few minutes.
I will do. Thank you. I'll try to keep it brief. While you were thanking our crew, I wanted to give a couple thank yous tonight publicly. I'd like to thank the True by Hilton. They've offered up some rooms for fire, police, and public works. A couple of my guys took them up on that. Rockefellers offered free slice of pizza and a drink, I believe on Saturday, to the guys. I'd like to thank Councilman Lovett and Councilwoman Knight for bringing in food for the guys. Kathy Duckworth brought in some food, and Sergeant Taggart brought in food to keep them full, keep their bellies full, keep them warm while they're out plowing. I'd also like to thank the residents who were able to and did move their cars, keep them off the road. That's a huge help to keeping the streets clean. A couple statistics: we got around 10 inches of snow or so, a little bit more. We had trucks on the road for 44 hours straight. In that time, they covered 3,130 miles in the city of Sharonville. We have about 130 lane miles. We had 316 man hours, 500 tons of salt, and 625 gallons of fuel burn. So it was a big event. We have basically considered it done. They'll be out on the road with their cleanup, hitting slick spots for over the next week or so or more while it melts. We see these sub-zero temperatures, but appreciate, we had no major breakdowns. We had a couple minor things that the guys were able to troubleshoot and get back on the road. We had no major breakdowns, and that's a big testament to you all up there. While our mechanic and our guys do a great job of taking care of the equipment, we can only take care of the equipment that is as good as we are provided, and you guys have provided us with some excellent equipment and the excellent means to perform the work that they perform. So while I thank them for making the city and myself look good, I want to make sure I thanked some of these people and thank you all for providing the means to do so. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and it is always great to hear all those folks, our local business community, those of us up here that are just willing to help out and show a bit of appreciation as well. So it's always great to hear that. We've got a great group of employees. We just talked about a couple of them. And unfortunately, at some point in time, those employees decide that, it's time for us to retire and move on to the next part of our lives. And so one of those folks is a great employee that we've had at our recreation department for a very long time. Joan Wegner, who has come out tonight. I was unable to make her celebration Friday, but I know Jim presented her at least with the words of the proclamation. But I actually have the formal proclamation tonight to give to her. And I'll just share these words. And it's whereas Joan began her service with us here in 1992 as a volunteer firefighter until 2001. And in 97, she joined the community center as the department's first fitness instructor and personal trainer. And she graduated from the University of Wisconsin River Falls in 1979 with a degree in physical education, health, and coaching, and earned a master's degree in athletic training and health education from the University of Oregon in 1983, which is when she married her husband, Scott, and in 1986 relocated to Ohio, raising two sons, David and Jason. They welcomed their daughter-in-law, Gina, and cherished their granddaughter, Emery. Joan was promoted in 2008 to our fitness center manager, a role that she grew wellness programming, guided staff, and enhanced operations. Joan served as chairperson of the department's safety committee, attending training sessions through the local safety congress, all the while maintaining her certification as a basic EMT, coming to the aid of many community center members, residents, and fellow employees with professionalism, compassion, and calm in these times of need. It was my pleasure on Friday, January 23rd, to recognize her outstanding years of public service and make that day Joan Wegner Day in the city of Sharonville. So thank you, Joan. Come on up and grab this wonderful with the camera, so let's take this, give him a good back.
Do you want to get in?
Congratulations. Thank you for all your years of service. Anything you want to say while you're here?
I really appreciate my time with the city. I have gotten to wear so many different hats, explored so many different avenues, and I just cannot say enough about working in the job that I had. I really miss everybody, but really, I tell people there's so much growth that you can do within this position. You're not just locked into one little thing, so it's a big world to know.
Thank you, Joe. You've done great. We appreciate it. And that is all my report for this evening.
Thank you. Safety Service Director, Mr. Lucas.
Thank you. I also wanted to thank Sean Pan from True by Hilton for offering up the rooms to our first responders over the weekend. A couple other items before we get to the legislation. Rita's is going to be having a soft opening on Friday, April 17th from 4 to 6 p.m. On Wednesday, February 11th. And then their grand opening event will take place on Friday, April 17th from 4 o'clock to 6 p.m. A week or so ago, Yahoo Life had an article about the best breweries in each state, and happy to say that our Third Eye Brewing Company was the best brewery in Ohio. So kudos to them. We have, getting to the legislation, we have 5 pieces in front of you this evening for a vote, plus we are requesting one add-on, if that is okay to City Council. The first item, ordinance 2025-62, is the disposal of 2 police cruisers that are no longer needed. The ordinance 2026-06, 07E, and 08E are all fire department related, so Chief Sunderman and Chief Becker is here if they're going to tag team or.
I did forget to put in my ordinance for spring to come very early, so maybe we could do that reading too. First ordinance, 2026-06, the replacement of the bay doors at Station 86 was requested and was approved for the 2026 budget, and obviously with it being over $50,000 and above bid threshold requires a separate ordinance. And you know that Station 86 does feel brand new, but it is in fact 20 years old. The original bay doors have worn to the point where when we get repair, there's no place to put more screws into the hinges because they're so heavy. So we are looking for a total replacement, and the new doors will actually be almost 3 times as insulated, and they'll be about 40% lighter. So we're hoping to get quite a bit of use out of the new doors. Any questions on bay doors? All right. Good, just to move on down the road here, Jim? All right, so 2026-07E. This is to purchase our communication radios. As many of you recall, this is an ongoing project. Actually, this should be the final year of a 5-year project to replace all of our portable radios to bring them up to the new standard. And the other piece of this legislation is for fire hydrant repair and relocation. And this year we did actually have to increase that line to $50,000, so it puts us right at the threshold for separate legislation. And part of the reason is the replacement of fire hydrants. The actual hydrant itself has almost tripled in price just in the year 2025. So that's why we had to kick that up to $50,000. Any questions on radios or hydrants? All right. And the last piece is for a new roof at Station 88. This, we did back and forth about putting this in the 2026 budget, and ultimately decided we do ultimately want to relocate that station. Although we don't have any land immediately available, we did make the decision that we were going to hold off on the replacement in the 2026 budget. I think the roof knew we were giving up on it, and sure enough, it started leaking pretty heftily right around Christmas. So we did get 2 quotes. One was for repair, one was for total replacement, and the repair came in right around $36,000 or $34,000, excuse me, and the total replacement came in at about $72,000. So we are requesting emergency ordinance for the appropriation of funds to replace the roof at Station 86. This is below bid threshold, so we have been in touch with the same contractor that did the roof at Station 86 about a year ago, and we had very good success with them. So they are able to do the work in the winter, I assume once the snow is off the roof. So that's why we asked this to go through as an emergency, that we can get this replaced as soon as possible since it is actively leaking. Any questions on the roof? All right, thanks everybody, I appreciate it.
I was incorrect. There was only 4 pieces up for a vote this evening, plus one add-on that Scott's here to talk about this evening.
Good evening. The item I sent out over email last night for consideration for late delivery is a appropriation ordinance for approximately $63,000. We received a property tax bill last week. These are all kind of going out a little bit late, not just to the city, but to residents as well. A lot going on in the property tax world, homestead and rollback, and a lot of different moving pieces. So property taxes are due on February the 10th. So this is our last meeting before that date. So that bill surprised us a little bit in how much it was. Just the actual taxes itself, which we maybe could have squeezed into some contingency. It has a delinquency factor from the original parcel that it was split off of. We've been talking with our outside legal counsel that helped us with the purchase. We do not believe this is in any way our liability, but at the moment it is our tax bill. So we're going to kind of pick up the conversation over the next 2 weeks, decide if we should proceed with payment or how to proceed with payment or recoup those funds. So, but we wanted to go ahead and have that option at our disposal, and that is why we're asking for the appropriations for that. Any questions about that?
All right, thank you.
That's it from me, unless there's any questions.
All right, seeing none. No report from myself other than to mirror what the mayor stated in terms of thanking Public Works, the fire department, the police department for being out there in the worst of the worst and keeping our city safe and clean. Clerk of Council, Ms. Buhite.
Thanks. This month, January, I had 3 liquor permits come through, and I just wanted to mention The three that were returned was Nishudra Retail, located at 1197 Lebanon Road, and they applied for a new liquor permit. First Class Food, located at 2343 Sharon Road, submitted transfer of ownership. And Rockefeller's, located at 11055 Reading Road, submitted for a new liquor permit, all of which were signed without objection or request for hearing.
Thank you. Auditor, Mr. Cunningham.
Good evening, everybody. It's a new year, and just want to give you a quick summary on how we ended 2025 from an expenditure standpoint. We actually, we left roughly 4.5 million unspent at the end of the year. Some of that was because we have not spent the 201 Street Fund budget, waiting final billing, and also the purchase and renovation of the Public Works building that we're going to acquire. We had some transfers at the end of the year that were meaningful. One in particular was general fund to capital. At the end of the year, we were able to transfer roughly 7.2 million into capital. There was an exact dollar amount with cents behind that for a reason. What that did was it left us exactly 12 million in general fund working cash, and that's sort of the number that we like and desire to have going forward for this year. We actually upped that from last year, and so that left us with that exact amount in our general fund going forward. And so, let's see, I think that's it. Is there any questions?
All right, thank you. Treasurer, Mr. Irie.
Good evening, thank you. And to touch again on what Mr. Cunningham said at the end of the year here, so we've got all of our tax income and motel tax final figures in. The income tax collections for 2025 were actually our second highest ever, only second to 2024. So it was great to see that those numbers continued the trend that they've been all throughout the 2020s. The general fund, all the departments, the general funds met their individual revenues or exceeded their individual revenue targets, including the street funds, fire fund, senior fund, and convention center, senior housing fund and convention center fund. Overall, the general fund was down about 7% from where it was in 2024, due in large part to some repayments that were advanced earlier. So as I said, the motel tax was up 8% year over year. The income tax was just slightly behind the 2024 totals, but again was our second best collection year ever. And just to note, our interest income for 2025 on our investments was slightly less than 2024, but still 2.5 million just in interest income alone. So another high point for 2025. That's all I have. Thanks.
All right. Any questions? All right, thank you. Law Director, Mr. Lippert.
I don't have anything to report, but thanks to all the first responders. Thank you.
Thank you. Convention Center, Mr. Doughton. Guess you're going to give your annual report.
Are you ready?
The floor is yours, sir.
Good evening. I wanted to start off as well acknowledging Steve Bosom and the Public Works Department. We had the home show this weekend, started on Friday. It was scheduled Saturday and Sunday. Woke up Saturday with about 9 inches of snow. And we have one Ford 350 truck with about 800 parking spaces in the main lot and 2 guys. So we were busy with that on Sunday, and Steve and his team showed up yesterday with 4 monster trucks, and in 2 hours was able to knock our parking lot out, which would have taken us, we'd probably still be working on it today. So I just wanted to thank Steve and his team for doing that for us and for our event. Our vendors moved out today, a day late, due to the emergency level 3 yesterday. So, but all's good, all good. Wanted to start out a little different this year and start out with a couple videos. I'm usually technologically challenged, so I've gone through, uh-oh. What's that?
Try to hit the escape button.
Hit escape? Okay, there we go. Come back to that. We'll see if this works. Hopefully it's not too loud. I wanted to show a couple of our commercials. This first one is our WKRC Channel 12. It's called a donut commercial. This is going to be kind of generic, and what we do is as we have specific events, they fill in details about those events. And then the second one is in 2025, it was the first year we hosted Visit Cincy, which is our Convention and Visitors Bureau for Hamilton County. We have never hosted that event. We hosted that this year, and we have a video of that we use as promotion to attract other events. And there's one more I want to show you. Here we go. This was after the Visit Cincy annual. So thanks for watching those. Just wanted to give, I don't know how many of you have seen that. We do 5 days a week on Channel 12. We do 5 days a week on VXU. We also do ads in Movers and Makers, which is the nonprofit publication locally. And then we're in the Playbill down at the Aronoff for their Broadway series. So this year, we've had to kind of change things up, and we started to, at the end of last year, since the expansion and the reopening, our occupancy is almost 80%. So the challenge we have is availability of dates for new events. So we're really selective about the events, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit later. But what we've decided to do is we pivoted, and we're actually now trying to promote our public events. So you'll see things like posters over at Third Eye Brewery. You'll see, you might have saw a poster when you came in today. We're trying to increase attendance. So at 80% occupancy, it's real difficult when you add in cleanup and setup of the rooms to really have a lot of available dates. Our event days, and I got that a little bit later, but out of 365 days a year, our event days are up to 282 days out of 365 we have events. So as we increase attendance, we really help with per caps and food and beverage sales, which helps drive additional revenue for us and our partners. So you'll see that a lot. You'll hear that on the radio. You'll see that on TV. You'll see the print where we're actively promoting the upcoming events. And it also gives us some additional credibility as events are thinking about where to locate, you know, oh, that's where the Mid-Century Show is, or that's where the boat show is. So those things help sell the facility as well. Okay, let's see. through Convention Center team. So our staffing levels have increased as our business continues to grow. We now, through your support, have a full-time housekeeping supervisor who we can focus strictly on our housekeeping team, 2 full-time security supervisors, and 2 forthcoming part-time security assistants, as well as 2 part-time maintenance techs to help with the continued maintenance of our larger and busier facility. So, you know, we've been conservative with our increase in staff. It's really kind of been parallel to as the revenue has grown, we have continued to grow the staff. And then some of our year-end highlights, you can see, I won't try not to go through all of them, but the biggest things I'll say is this was the second year since our expansion that our center continued to grow operating revenues, attendance, and staffing. We pushed operating revenues to over $3 million, reaching $3,112,000 for the first time in our building's history, along with pushing our gross sales, and this is to an all-time high of $7,705,000. So our gross sales includes all of our food and beverage revenue sales, all of the audiovisual, and all of the facility sales. The first number there, that $3,112,000, that is just our operating revenue. That gives you an indication of how our business has continued to grow. Before COVID, as we were talking with the county and getting the funding for this second expansion, our gross revenues was about 5.2. So, and our operating was about 2.6. So things are continuing to improve, which is positive. And as you heard from Kurt earlier, the hotel TOT tax was up to about $1,143,000. It's an increase of about $81,000 from 2024. And I think how that works is the TOT tax, the first million, goes to the convention center to offset the debt service. We pay about $900,000 of debt service with that. And then the residual, I think there was $143,365 that goes back to the city's general fund. So that was a positive, because in addition to growing revenue, obviously we want to grow hotel rooms. We estimate we're pushing about 35,000 hotel rooms to the community in a year. That is something that we try to track as best we can. When we book events, we'll talk to our customers to see if we're sending leads directly to a hotel, and if they book a hotel, we'll get the total number that they're booking. As far as what the actual pickup is, that's a question that we have not gotten to that point where we gotten back. Usually the CVB, that's their job. They'll true up the numbers. But we try to do that for the hotels just so that they're aware. Attendance numbers have grown to 223,044 this year, so that was up from last year. And that's really the number that we're really targeting. That's what we really want to impact. You'll see that our actual events went down to 165. So we had 165 events. In 2018, I think we had 320 events. So what's happened is we've evolved to attracting larger events with bigger attendance and more days. So instead of booking a one-day event for 200 people, we're booking Tri-Health 4 times, once a quarter, 4 times a year. They're taking the whole building for 1,200 people Monday through Thursday. That's just an example, but that's the idea, is to get larger events that are going to impact the hotels and the community with larger attendance. So that is happening. We still want to grow that number. I'd love to see it be 300,000 in one day. Let's see. That's a breakdown of our events. Those are the financials we discussed. You can take a look at those, but you can see the year-to-year difference. And then the other big number there, and I don't have my glasses on, is what we put to our capital fund. I think it might be 93,000. I can't quite see that number. Yeah. So that was the largest number we put to our capital, and that's based on 3% of our gross revenues that we'll put in the capital fund. So as the building gets bigger, our capital needs increase and those expenses increase. So as the revenues gets higher, we put more in that capital fund. So that is important as well. OBG, our contract with our food and beverage partner spells out over $1 million in additional capital for our food and beverage needs over the 5-year term of our contract. For 2025, OBG, with Sharonville's approval, spent an additional $364,380. You can see some of the items from China to the cooler project in the main kitchen. These are all things that we sit down and discuss and make sure that we're all in agreement that this is how we want to spend that capital money, and as well as their promotional spend and their repairs. So they pay for all the repairs in the kitchen. Any equipment that they use that's ours, they pay to maintain it, and I think that was at the tune of about $30-something thousand here on that bottom number. But those are important elements that lessen the expense on our side as well. And then, why am I not, I'm trying to find our, there we go, capital projects. Capital projects this year, really two big ones. We started our carpet replacement in 2025 early in January. It was right before the annual Visit Cincy meeting. So all new carpeting on the main level, and then this past week we just finished the lower level, and so combined that project was about $340,000, but the entire building facility has all new carpet. We painted the upstairs in 2025. This year, we got to get down and paint the lower level, but the building's in great shape. Hopefully you recognize that when you come in and visit it. And then the other big project was our LED retrofit. So for those of you that came in once we did the expansion, you might have noticed that the expanded space was a lot brighter. We had LED lighting, and we didn't really realize there'd be such a significant difference with the old fluorescent lighting. So we did a retrofit in our public space out in front of the exhibit hall. It's much brighter, it looks great. And then new lighting controls. These are on all of my event managers' phones and their iPads. So they can, and this is every light that's represented, these little black dots are every light represented in the exhibit hall. So it's just a great upgrade for our events, because a lot of the events spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on audio visual, and they don't really need a lot of light, so they want to turn a lot of these lights out. But this gives us a lot of flexibility for our big events. And with that, I'll close. Here's some upcoming events for March and April you'll see. And last but not least, for next year, we look to be right in line with what we did this year. So there might be a little bit of growth, but we should have a real healthy year for 2026. There has been some news. The Northern Kentucky Convention Center is closing down in 2027 in July for their renovation. They'll be closed for 2 years. They're the same footprint as us, so I've been in contact with their GM and Visit Cincy to see how much business we might be able to relocate. Some of that will go down to the Duke. The Duke opened maybe 2 weeks ago for Reds Fest. And so there'll be some layover. There'll be some events that will stay downtown or want to stay in the core, but we will get a percentage of those events when Northern Kentucky closes next year. So I think that's good news too for the future. It should, we should have a good, healthy level of business for the next 4 or 5 years.
And you were able to retain some of the smaller conferences that came from Duke when they...
Yes, so we only did not renew 3 events. We did not renew the Heart Association Heart Ball And well, I take that back. The holiday market decided to do 2 events, so they signed 2 more years with us, and they're also going to continue down at the Duke. And then the boat show went to the Duke, but there were about 4 dealers that created a new event at our place, so we have a new boat show in February. But we were able to maintain, I think, 9 or 10 NAACP, Urban League, oh goodness, others I can send you, but we were very fortunate to maintain the majority of that business that came up here.
That's a testament to how well you and your staff run the event and how you treat those people, so thank you for that. It's always well organized, always a great event. I've been to multiple events last year at the convention center and have never had a disappointing time, so kudos to you and your staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Sue?
The best part is we have free parking.
Yes, that is good. That is good. I was downtown for the big opening of the Duke, and it was anywhere from 20 to 25 for Reds Fest. So, and you had to walk a few blocks in the cold weather. So, that's a good point.
Sharpshire?
I'm looking forward to seeing the facility in its full grandeur this weekend for Bridal-Rama.
Oh, you're coming for Bridal-Rama. Great.
Yeah, my daughter's
Okay.
getting married in May. And
Oh, excellent.
she's coming in from out of town to attend.
Do you have tickets?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you, Mr. Dowling.
Okay. Thank you all.
All right, at this time, are there any residents desiring to be heard before council this evening? You can come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and I will remind all speakers that you're limited to 5 minutes as per Sharonville Codified Ordinance Section 121.17. Thanks.
I'm going to be quick. My name's George Brasher, Mefford Lane. You guys might remember me as the golf cart guy from last year. I wanted to get down here sooner, but schedules didn't allow me to do that. I wanted to come down and express my appreciation and thank all of you guys, particularly Law and Safety, for allowing me to present my case and get everything approved. So thanks to you guys, we now have low-speed vehicle permits for the city of Sharonville. So I appreciate you all keeping an open mind and a willingness to change. So thank you very much. My dogs were very much appreciative when I got my permit and I was able to take them for a ride again. They love golf cart rides. Again, thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
Tim Schmidt, 12215 Pickwick Place, you all know. I just want to be here, and I want to join Mr. Mayor and those of you who express thank you to the police department, the fire department, and the public works for the job that they do. The clearing of the snow, they really did a very good job, and I'm very appreciative of the work that everybody did for that. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Anybody else like to speak at this time? We have one more chance. All right. Seeing none, council committees, budget and finance and project oversight, Mr. Cook.
Thank you. No report this evening for either committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Community development, Ms. Sharpshire.
Thank you. Just one thing, the Board of Zoning Appeals committee members are going to be having a refresher course coming up in February, and they will be learning or relearning their roles and standards of zoning codes, their duties and responsibilities, their ethical obligation as a quasi-judicial board member, how to formally conduct the meeting, and how to properly vote as a quasi-judicial board member. So all of our members will be undergoing refresher training or training, and I will be one of those, so since I sit on that committee.
All right. Thank you. Community services, Mr. Levitt.
Good evening and thank you. I have nothing to report this evening. I also want to say thank you to our emergency services for a wonderful work this weekend. And I want to say congratulations and thank you to Mrs. Wagner. I got the opportunity to meet her a very long time ago when I had much more hair in Boy Scouts with both their kids. And so wish you guys all the best and congratulations.
Thank you, honored citizens. Ms. Knight?
Yes, I am also going to honor Joan tonight. She needs 3 recognitions because she is awesome. I got to know her on the fire department. We were both, I was on the Ladies Auxiliary, and I got to know her there. And in Kiwanis, we worked together on the breakfast, pancake breakfast for the kiddie raffle. And I just can't say enough. She is just a ray of sunshine down at the rec center because, you know, everybody goes up and talks to her, asks her questions. She's not, I've never heard a harsh word, and I just want to say thank you so much and happy retirement. But you can come back anytime you want. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Law and Public Safety, Mr. Schmidt.
Thank you. The next Law and Public Safety Committee meeting will be on February the 3rd, 5 p.m., Administrative Conference Room. And I, too, would like to thank Joan for all the years and all the times we spent together in so many different circumstances. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful retirement, Joan.
All right, thank you. At this time, I have a request for late delivery of ordinance 2026-10, amending 2026 appropriations for the general fund. Is there a motion for late delivery of that ordinance as read? Mr. Levitt, thank you for the first. Ms. Knight, thank you for the second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. All right, that late delivery is approved. Now, rule suspension and motions for the first and only reading for immediate effectivity of ordinance 2026-7-E, 2026-08-E, and 2026-10. Is there a motion for rule suspension for those ordinances as read? Ms. Sharpshire, thank you for first. Ms. Dino, thank you for the second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Thank you. Rule suspensions have passed. Rule suspension motion for the first and only reading for 30-day effectivity of ordinance 2026-06. Is there a motion for that ordinance as read? Mr. Schmidt, thank you for the first. Ms. Knight, thank you for the second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Thank you. Rule suspension has passed. Unfinished business, Ms. Buhite.
This is the third reading of ordinance 2025-62, authorizing the Safety Service Director to dispose of police department vehicles.
Thank you. Is there a motion for ordinance 2025-62? Mr. Cook, thank you for the first. Ms. Sharpshire, thank you for the second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Sharpshire?
Yes.
Mrs. Citadino?
Yes.
Mr. Levitt?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mrs. Knight?
Yes.
And Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-62 has been approved. A second reading of emergency ordinance 2026-04E, enacting new business regulation code, chapter 732, regarding hookah lounges within the city of Sharonville and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. New business, please.
First and only reading of ordinance 2026-06, authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract to replace bay doors at Fire Department Station 86.
Thank you. Is there a motion for ordinance 2026-06? Ms. Knight, thank you for the first. Mr. Levitt, thank you for the second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Sharpshire?
Yes.
Mrs. Citadino?
Yes.
Mr. Levitt?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mrs. Knight?
Yes.
And Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-06 has been approved. First and only reading of emergency ordinance 2026-07E, authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract to purchase fire department radios, enter into a contract to repair and/or relocate fire hydrants, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Is there a motion for ordinance 2026-07-E? Ms. Sharpshire, thank you for the first. Ms. Cittadino, thank you for the second. Any discussion? Mr. Schmidt?
Just a quick note that the effort that the chief makes to keep our radios current, and that is really a challenge, and we went through that at Law Committee quite a bit. It's very much appreciated that we, among many of the communities, we're really ahead of the game, and we stay there because of the chief's effort. So thank you very much, chiefs.
Thank you, and for all of your support as well. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Sharpshire?
Yes.
Mrs. Cittadino?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mrs. Knight?
Yes.
And Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Emergency ordinance 2026-07E has been approved. First and only reading of emergency ordinance 2026-08E, amending 2026 appropriations for the 405 Firehouse Capital Project Fund, authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract for Station 88 roof replacement and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Is there a motion for ordinance 2026-08-E? Mr. Cox, thank you for the second. First, Ms. Knight, thank you for the second. Any discussion? Mr. Schmidt?
I should say this will be the second time, but again, all the work that has gone into the roundabout will be right in front of the firehouse, in front of 88. And a lot of discussion and thought, consideration has gone into making sure that does not impact any of our service abilities and reaction times and response times. And again, that's something that's been discussed in Law Committee quite a bit, but I wanted to point that out to everyone so everyone realizes how much work goes into a change like this, which is good for Fields Earl Road, but we all make sure it doesn't impact any of our services. And thanks again to the chiefs.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Sharpshire?
Yes.
Mrs. Cittadino?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mrs. Knight?
Yes.
And Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Emergency ordinance 2026-08E has been approved. A first reading of ordinance 2026-09, an ordinance approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as parts of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of Sharonville, Ohio. And a first and only reading of ordinance 2026-10, amending 2026 appropriations for the general fund.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for ordinance 2026-10? Mr. Cook, thank you for the first. Ms. Sharpshire, thank you for the second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Sharpshire?
Yes.
Mrs. Cittadino?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mrs. Knight?
Yes.
And Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-10 has been approved.
Thank you. All right, at this time, are there any residents desiring to be heard before council this evening? Yes, sir. A reminder, come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you've got 5 minutes, sir.
I wrote some point in my phone. Hi, everyone. My name is Hussein Shafi. I'm the owner of Sahara Hookah Lounge. I understand the points that the new law addresses, but the main point that will affect my business would be closing at 12. Yeah. The bulk of my business is between 10:30 to 1:30 a.m. In short, this will hurt my business enough to shut it down. I have 5 full-time employees and 2 part-time that heavily really rely on this business to support their family, and it will definitely hurt their household income. Sahara has been part of Sharonville community for 14 years, and I have a loyal customer that come from all over the tri-state, and even from the visitor from out of town, and that stay of surrounding hotels. I have no problem actually to closing at regular nightlife hours like a bar at 2:30. We don't sell any alcohol, and we don't want to be involved in anything that might make Sharonville as a community look bad. And if there any issue with us, we are open to any suggestion, and our intention is to be part of the community and to keep our customer and community happy and safe. And thank you for listening, and have a great night.
Thank you. Any questions? Mr. Lippert?
Thank you for being here. Could you spell your last name, please?
Al-Shafi.
Okay. And could you spell it?
A-L-S-H-A-F-E-E.
Just trying to help out Madam Clerk. So I actually don't get a vote, and I say this to my colleagues quite often, but as the law director, I just had some questions that I thought of when I read the statement as well as listening to your comments. Mr. Altai, is he the co-owner with you then? The one who prepared the statement? Is it Miss Altai? I'm sorry, okay. You're co-owners together? Sure. Okay. And you've had an opportunity to review the proposed regulations?
Yeah.
All right. So there are a lot of moving pieces to that. The two that I wanted to ask about, number one, there's no objection to prohibiting alcohol at all on the premises. Is that correct?
Yes. I agree with all situation, with everything, but the only one point is going to be hurt my business about the time.
Okay.
Actually, we don't sell alcohol, and we don't serve alcohol. And for example, when I bring a food truck before 3 months, if you remember, and you say you're not allowed to sell food to this truck, I just remove the food truck next day, and I lose $30,000 for the food truck, like that. And we say, when you come in the city to my business too, you say you have to close until you get the permit. I close the business, and I get the permit for that. Anything the cities, they say, I'm work with them, like for everything, 100%. Yeah. For all the points, I agree with all the points. Just one point is going to be so hard for me, like the time, actually.
Okay.
Because all my business between 10 to 1:30.
Let me ask the second thing that I thought of when I was listening to you. So, as far as enforcing things like the alcohol prohibition, the regulations also develop a permitting process that specifies that law enforcement is allowed to come into the business and verify that there's no alcohol on the premises and things like that. That's also something that you're okay with as far as the new regulations?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if anybody else had any other questions, but that's all I wanted to verify.
Mr. Cox?
I had the one question, because you guys don't serve alcohol, but we were under the impression that it was bring your own alcohol to the premises, and you will tell your customers
Yes,
they are no
I'm going
longer
to stop, even
allowed.
to bring alcohol too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just make that, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Lovett?
So, as you say, you've been in this community for 12 years, right?
14 years.
14, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I apologize, don't mean to short you. It's a long time, I appreciate it, we're glad you're here. My question is we haven't had, until relatively recently, there's really not been a whole lot of, what's changed? Like, what caused the sudden onslaught of more issues? Was it that, did you recently allow alcohol to come into the business, or what is the change that's happened, I'd say, pretty in your modern history? What's the change that happened that allowed some of these issues to come about?
Because the hookah right now is more like a regular with the people, everyone, they try to come to try this one here. And it's nice vibes. It's like it's very famous, like for all the states. Everyone who want to try that, he wanted to.
Allow me to explain
Yeah.
the question.
Yes, please.
إنه شو اللي تغير هلا فجأة؟ ليه صار في مشاكل؟ شو السبب؟ يعني شو في سبب صار في مشاكل حتى إنه صار هالشيء كله قامت وقعدت بالسيتي؟
Like if you have any problem, I got like a answer with like someone of my employer to make a problem with her. Something like a stupid with her ex-husband. They called the police for 3-4 times for that. But that's when the police they come like 3-4 times. That's they wrote in the report with the police. That's something like one of my girls worked there with her ex-husband. That's what the problem that happened actually.
So recently, the business has been operating In your perspective, in your opinion,
Yeah.
the business has been operating pretty similarly. It's just purely, there's been some internal relationship issues. Am I hearing that correctly? Yes, ma'am.
Can I have you state your name and address
Yes,
for the record
I
just
got
before we
you.
start?
Yeah.
Thank you.
My address, like my home address?
Or
what?
business address, if you
Oh,
work the
okay, got
address.
you. Sahara Hook Lounge, I'm a server there. My name's Kyrie Al Hassan. I just wanted to help him answer that question.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Because I've witnessed like the shift that you're referencing right now. And honestly, it happened around the time that the hookah lounges downtown Cincinnati started to close down. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. And a lot of their business started to come to us because we're one of like 2 or 3 hookah lounges that are going to be open at those hours that they were downtown. And yeah, that scene, we kind of just filled that gap, I think, for people.
Thank you. That answers. Thank you.
So let me ask that question, because that's kind of a concern of mine. Is if, so obviously Cincinnati has put in their regulations, similar to what's being proposed here, changes the hours. The reason why they did that was because of the problems that were existing. We then see an uptick in problems. How do we stop that from happening other than putting in the same regulations here?
Already right now, I'm hiring like 3 security. They like work with me like a Friday, Saturday with the rush hours. Yeah, because all my rush hours, this is a Friday and Saturday. And I have a 3 like a security work with me. And I have like enough employee for that. And I'm working with that.
Yes, my name is Kareem Fahmy. I'm one of the managers there. And so I'm the one that got the security. And what we're doing is like a no tolerance. So no weapons, no illegal substances, no questions asked. If you're bounced, you're bounced. There's no like, hey, let's talk about it. Let's not. And it's you check at you get your ID checked at the door, and bags searched if you have like for females and stuff like that. So that's the main point. So we do have security. And anytime that we have had problems and that I've had to go to court, I've went to court personally. So like anything that went down, that had to go downtown, I went personally. So it's not like they're wasting their time if there's a problem. Or if they've asked for cameras, we've given them cameras. Like, we have pretty good cameras there to solve any problems.
And excuse me, if you call the police actually for past 3-4 months, we don't call the police, or the police didn't come to the business for past 3-4 months.
Are you suggesting that the police have not been to your business for the past 3 or 4 months?
Like past 3 months, yeah.
Okay.
We call one time, yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I don't believe that's what we were told by the chief recently. But he's not here to say yes or no, so I won't dispute that.
This before 3 months.
Sorry, it's Kareem again, sorry. So we do have some overspill from Al's because we are right next door. Sometimes the parking lot, we can't tell where the problem is coming from, whether it's the guys drinking next door or from ours. And I'm not saying that it can't be from ours, but there is a bar next door. You know what I'm saying? So if it's called to 11137 or the bar calls or we call, if they ask us if they were our patron, yeah, he was in here. Or, yeah, he was at the bar. Or, I don't know. It didn't happen. And that's the only thing. We can't really control everything, but we try to if it's in our capabilities. You know what I'm saying?
Any other questions or comments? No?
My name is Najwa Altai. I'm the owner of the building, and I'm the establisher of the business in 2012. I started this business, and I got all the permits, license when I started. Now I'm away from the business since 2021, almost. But I'm here today just to explain how this business runs. I don't know about the other details. I'm not at the business all the time. So, so basically, this lounge is not new business to city of Sharonville. And we have been established and operating since 2012, as I mentioned. And throughout that time, we have maintained all required permits and license to operate lawfully. Now, I'm here, basically came here today to explain the hours, because I heard from the guys that you guys might reduce the hours, business hours, and I know how can impact financially the business. So I'm gonna explain a little bit shortly about the hours. So hookah bars or coffee shops or lounges all over the world, they operate after 4 p.m. till late night. I actually hand out some list of the lounges in the United States and Ohio. They have also the business hours that all of them past 12 o'clock. Some of them 2, some of them 3 a.m., some of them 4 a.m. Personally, I operate the business. Sometimes I came back home 5 a.m. and it was everything good. And we used to run a lot of live music. So so basically, I'm here to request to keep the business hours as used to be since 2012, and I'm sure the guys will go with any rules, terms, concerns you guys want to talk about. I can help with that also. So that's what I'm here for today. Hopefully, you guys are gonna give them the chance to operate as any hookah lounge in the world.
Yes, sir.
My understanding is that the food truck that is currently operating is something new within the last year.
It was, as far as I know.
I see some nods behind you saying yes.
Yeah, they removed it, I think. They told me it was.
They removed it and it's back?
The same day.
No? Okay.
No, I just was there, actually. It was not. So I just stopped, yeah.
So the fact that
I think the food truck's gone.
Gone?
It's
not-
gone, he said next day.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
guys
it came
informed him.
from planning commission, and planning commission denied it, and I
Got
think
it.
it was gone after we denied that, yeah.
The fact that the business does not sell alcohol, it doesn't have a liquor permit, and the BYOB falls within a gray area, and that's legally permissible. What permits or licenses are you referring to when you say that you have all the required permits and licenses? In other words, I'm not aware of any other licenses that are required because hookah lounges are not regulated under the state code, and that's why there are local codes like the Cincinnati ordinance or the one that we're proposing. But are there any other permits or licenses that the business is required to carry? What are they?
There is a tobacco, I remember tobacco license that you can sell tobacco 80% and food 20%. So you have to get that every year in March, I believe. So this is one of them. Besides, like operating business, hours, everything, I remember that I remember engineer came to the building and he checked the building because the law is you cannot open hookah lounge if it's not freestanding building. So I hired engineer, he looked at the building and he found that it is freestanding building. So we did all that, whatever needed, and we're working I managed the business 10 years myself.
So when the business opened, it was something you had to do to verify that it was within compliance of
Right.
regulations. But there's no ongoing licenses that you need to renew annually?
It is.
I see a gentleman behind you shaking his head no, so I would think that's,
It's once a year.
it is
It's
annual.
once a year in March.
And that's through the tobacco,
Yeah.
Commerce Department,
I think we sent it
state?
to Columbus, I remember,
Okay.
yeah, something like that.
okay. Thank you.
Any question for me?
Go ahead.
Sorry, you're speaking on the hours. Could you remind us what the hours are? I'm sorry, I didn't see that on here. What are the current operating hours of the business?
Your hours now.
Right now, like at 3:30.
3:30 in the morning?
For the weekend.
For the weekends? What about during the week? 2:30. 2:30 week, 3:30 weekend. Thank you.
In the morning? Yes, AM. What's out? 2:30, yes.
Yeah, it's next door.
And if we chop those hours to 2:30, would you like?
If we went to 2:30, would there be an issue with you guys?
No, that's what we close, for nightlife hours. Like, we wouldn't mind to close with Al's Bar because it's nightlife.
Okay, because I just wanted, because I'm pro-business, and Sharonville is too, but it's the, the riffraff. We do not want that, and we want you to work with our police if there's a security issue or anything like that. You can't just be, closing it off if something happens and say, we'll deal with it, because we don't want this to happen, and it's overspilling into our community, and that's the big issue, and that's why we bring this stuff up, and now you are coming here because this was our last option to put these things.
We are okay actually to close like as the bar, like as regular hours with the all like a Sharonville community, like at 2:30. Close like as him, like at 2:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And plus, we don't necessarily want the riffraff either. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't help us because they're not necessarily spending money. The only thing I like to point out with Cincinnati and us is a little bit different is their demographic is a little bit different because they're down there with UC and all that stuff. All those hookah bars down there that they were having problems with, there's a lot of college activities. We have different demographic. There is some spillover that comes over here because of a lot of the bars that have closed in the area. So people are going to Al's or maybe coming to us at those times. That's the only thing that's a little bit different with Cincinnati because they do have a lot of college kids and they tend to act up also. But it's different than our customer. It's not exactly the same customer.
I understand that you can't really control it, but once it happens, you can't turn a blind eye to it. If Sharonville police are responding to it, you can't just be like, you have to let them work their issues out.
And like I said, I've personally went down to court 3 or 4 times for different incidents. Personally, me, as a manager. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Just remind you to state your name and address for the record, please.
Okay, my name is Hortensia Garcia, and then I work at the Hookah Lounge.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is going to make a difference, but I'm a single mother, and like if you guys reduce the hours and stuff, I only work on the weekends. Like I have to stay at home with my kids during the weekdays. So like if you guys reduce hours, I come in at 10 o'clock. So like there'd be no reason for like me or my coworkers to come in because, that's our only days to work and stuff. So, I mean, like they said that we wouldn't care, obviously, to close down during, bar hours because, that's, the law and everything. But, yeah, I was just, they've helped me out tremendously. I've worked here for like at least 2 months. And from what I've seen, they've worked on everything. They closed down what they needed to. They made sure that they got security guard. Anything that has happened, they have gotten on it. So from what I've been there and from when the fire department got there, they have done a 180. And like I said, this is my only source of income. So, and like I said, I'm a single mother of 2. So, and like I said, this helps me out tremendously. And I would just greatly appreciate it if you guys would close down by, we can close by 2:30. Because I understand, that you guys, city of Sharonville, you guys want, nice, sorry, I'm getting kind of nervous. But, yeah, I don't know what else to say. But thank you.
I have one question real quick. If they were to have like a special event, do you know if they charge a door charge or?
Yes, okay, so if it does, if we have a special event and stuff like that, we charge for the door event. Like, we have a belly dancer usually, because she needs to get played and stuff. So, yeah, we enforce those rules. And like I said, they're really good about now, if there is something that happens, they're going to close it down, or we got to figure out our problem because, we don't want this to happen again.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry, not exactly a door charge. It gets added to the bill. It's not a transactional charge at the door. So it's a little bit different.
Extra fee onto your bill.
Yes, extra fee on the bill. It's not a transaction at the door. Sorry.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
One more? Okay. Sorry. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Kyriel Hassan, and I'm a server at Sahara Hookah Lounge. Good evening. My name is Kyriel Hassan, and I'm speaking tonight as a server at Sahara Hookah Lounge, and also as someone whose life has been largely impacted inside of those walls. I understand that when people look at a hookah lounge, they might only see a small part of the picture. They might assume it's where trouble starts or where problems happen late at night, but respectfully, that view is incomplete. Because Sahara is not just a lounge. For many of us, it's a home away from home. During my time at the University of Cincinnati, I spent countless late nights studying until 2 or 3 in the morning. And Sahara was the place that I went to focus, learn with my friends, and to feel grounded. It became part of my routine, part of what got me through some of the most demanding years of my life. I've spent the past 2 New Years with my father, my friends, and my work family at Sahara. I've celebrated birthdays there, graduations, including my own. And I've watched people come in for new beginnings, for first dates, for anniversaries, and for holidays. And I've watched friendships turn into family. Sahara is a safe haven for all cultures. Anyone can find a place within the walls of Sahara. It's one of the few places where diversity is not just welcomed, but it's our foundation. Preserving Sahara is preserving diversity in Sharonville, and I truly believe that that matters. This lounge isn't meant to be a nuisance. It's meant to be a space for people who get off work late and need somewhere to relax, somewhere peaceful, somewhere familiar. It's meant to be a place where people feel cared for and comfortable enough to let loose, knowing that our team has their back. Because that's what we do. We take care of the people who walk through our doors. We create a safe environment, we look out for one another, and we give people a sense of belonging. So tonight, I'm asking you to take care of us too. Please allow Sahara Hookah Lounge to stay open past 12 a.m., potentially 2:30, so we can continue doing what we've always done, serving our community, protecting our culture, and being a place where people feel at home. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Questions, comments? All right. Thank you again for coming in.
Thank you.
At this time, are there any other matters to be heard before council this evening? Ms. Sharp, share.
I just want to let everyone know that Princeton Education Foundation is having their gala, and tickets are on sale now through the 31st of January, and the gala will take place at the the Marriott, sorry, on February 21st. If you're interested in helping support the nonprofit, get your tickets and have a great time with everyone there.
Thank you. Ms. Knight?
Yes, I just want everyone to know that one of our Sharonville residents, Connor Curran, is going to the Winter Olympics. He made the team, and he's in men's aerial, and he started as a Sharonville Shark. Thank you.
So we're from a swimmer to a aerial skier. All right, I get it. Any other matters? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion for adjournment? Ms. Sharpshire, thank you for the first. Mr. Cook, thank you for the second. All those in favor, yes? Yes. Those opposed, no? Thank you, we're adjourned.